Today we'll be talking about one of the most important eras in Philippine political history, the Commonwealth. What were the events leading up to the Commonwealth? Before 1935, an American governor-general appointed by the U.S. President headed the Philippine government. This started to change in December 1932, when the U.S. Congress passed the Hair Horse Cutting Act, which had the final goal of granting complete independence to the Philippines. However, the bill did not make several key concessions, such as the end of American protectionist sugar tariffs and granting of free trade to the newly independent Philippines. As a result, the Philippine Senate voted against it, and then Philippine Senate President Manuel Quezon refused to support it. Which is the reason in 1934, a new bill was enacted by the U.S. Congress and signed by American President Franklin Roosevelt, called the Tidings-McDuffie Act. It established the route for the Philippines to become an independent country after a 10-year transition period, starting with the formation of its own Commonwealth government. Ito ay nangangahulugang ginagabayan ng Estados Unidos ang Pilipinas upang maihanda ang bansa para sa kasarinlan. The Tidings-McDuffie Act generally received large-scale support in the Philippines and was approved by the Philippine Senate. The first thing required for the new Commonwealth government was a new constitution, which would serve as the bedrock of an independent nation. So, on July 13, 1934, a constitutional convention was convened in Manila. After several months of deliberation, a new constitution was approved by the Convention of February 8, 1935, and ratified by popular vote on May 4, 1935. On September 16, 1935, presidential elections were held. Candidates included former President Emilio Aguinaldo, the religious leader Gregorio Aglipay, and others. Manuel L. Quezon and Sergio Osmeña of the Nacionalista Party were proclaimed the winners. The Commonwealth government was inaugurated on the morning of November 15, 1935 in ceremonies held on the steps of the Legislative Building in Manila. The event was attended by around 300,000 people. The new government embarked on ambitious nation-building policies in preparation for economic and political independence. This included the National Defense Act of 1935, which would organize a conscription for service in the country. This also included greater control over the economy, the perfection of democratic institutions, reforms in education, improvement of transport, the promotion of local capital, industrialization, and the colonization of Mindanao. However, uncertainties remained in the level of U.S. commitment to the future Republic of the Philippines, especially when it came to diplomacy and the military in Southeast Asia. This included the state of the economy because of the Great Depression in the U.S. The situation was further complicated by the presence of agrarian unrest and the power struggles between Osmeña and Quezon, especially after Quezon was permitted to be re-elected after one 6-year term. During the Commonwealth period, tenant farmers held grievances, often rooted in debt caused by the sharecropping system, as well as by the dramatic increase in population, which added economic pressure to the tenant farmers' families. As a result, an agrarian reform program was initiated by the Commonwealth. However, the success of the program was hampered by ongoing clashes between tenants and landowners, and a proper evaluation of the policy's effectiveness or failure because due to the catastrophic events that occurred in the following decade. Nonetheless, the Commonwealth of the young republic continued on, and it seemed like the entire country seemed to be improving. Independence was just a few years away, and throughout the country, there was a strong feeling of hope. The country finally overcame its struggle from the Great Depression, and everyone had their eyes set on the future, from the farmers in Bulacan to the professionals of Manila.